Hello, everybody. I'm waiting for my guest to come in. So I had a long, challenging, trying to get everything together because the devil is a liar. We're gonna have this interview today. I promise you that. Waiting for Dr. Pace to come in. For some reason, my software was not working today, so we're just gonna do Instagram Live tonight. I'm waiting till she come in. Hi, twins. But yeah, I'm waiting for Dr. Pace to come in. Should she come in, we decided to go Instagram Live because we've been trying to figure out my software for an hour, which is weird. My software's acting weird today. I never had this problem with any of my guests coming on my show. How you doing? Um, but yeah, I'm just trying to send. I gotta wait till Dr. Pace get in. Soon she get in. But yeah, make sure y'all follow me. Make sure y'all no. Okay. Ooh, it's hot. Ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I'm going to try to fix this on the little tripod while we waiting. Or should I do the tripod? I probably want to do the tripod. I'll just sit up here so y'all can see me well. I'm just. I'm just waiting for the page. We'll be starting the show very, very soon. I don't know how to. Let me send it to DM. Everybody, please bear with me. But yeah, thank you for everybody that is on. Um, um, but yeah, the internet is just some hot mess now. So, but yeah, originally I would have been live on Facebook through my software, but my software is acting up today. Um, I'm just waiting for Dr. Pace to come. I sent an invite. Um, but yeah. Let's see. But yeah, um, I'm new with this Instagram stuff, so y'all bear with me too as well. I don't go fake Instagram live as often. Anyone can see the person's live video will be live, maybe to watch a live video too. Search. It says unable to join. Okay. The pink ring. Yeah, I see. He sent an invite. I don't know if it's gonna ping you in. Okay, it worked. You hear me? I am so sorry. We had
Dude,
a long 30 minutes. I am so
it's
sorry
okay.
about it. Like, something about the night, because David didn't want this interview to happen for some reason.
Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I can hear you.
Oh, Jesus. it says Lydia Pace left. But yeah, everybody stay in, please, because she's coming right back in. Please stay in. Um, we had a interesting morning to say that. Not morning, interesting afternoon. But guess what? I need everybody to stay in. I need everybody to share this live to your friends. I guess welcome to Let's Go to Church Gospel Show with Big Ben. But yeah, this is my station page. But yeah, hello everybody that's watching. She's coming back in. Waving at everybody. She said she had to check something real quick.
Ah, now can you hear me? I can
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
you. Wow, what a morning. What a day.
So sorry about this.
It's okay.
So why? Oh, StreamYard. I don't know. It has not never did that to me before.
Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't even know what to do. I was like,
What do
okay.
I do?
Um,
Hey, I've never experienced it either, even though I don't really use StreamYard, but other people have. So it's all
yes,
good. It's
ma'am.
all good.
So okay, I guess I got to introduce myself. Let's go to church gospel. With everything planned, I guess that was not. We're gonna God's gonna take the wheel. He's gonna finish it up because that's not what we do. Okay, so today on Let's Go to Church Gospel Show. Now people need to stop calling me during this live. Okay.
Oh, wow, really? And they know you live.
Yes. Today we have one of the youngest of the Anointed Pace sisters, and she's a doctor. Lydia Pace on Let's Go Church Gospel Show. So how are you doing today?
I'm blessed of the Lord. I am doing well. I'm just glad we were able to get everything going so that we can do this.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So this is a dream come true.
Wow. Thank
So
you.
they say I've been a fan for the Pacers in general since the age of 8.
Wow. Okay.
So I would go back. I ain't that old, but I'm
Okay.
young.
I can see that. I can see that.
But yeah, so I had to say that. Now I'm out of fan mode. Now back to interview.
Okay.
So how did you get? Everybody already know how you got into the music industry, but was it kind of forced to get in the music industry?
It wasn't forced, but it was something almost like required in a sense coming up in our home, but one
Okay.
thing that mother and dad always said first is that you're gonna graduate from high school and then you're gonna sing. And so God kind of had a somewhat different path for me because he had already spoken to my mom and I already had the desire to go to college. And so I didn't join the group right away like everyone else did that came out of high school. I went right on to college and here I am now. But yeah, I eventually did join the group and it was what it was. It was
So she,
fun.
yeah,
It was fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Being with all your sisters and y'all singing everywhere, touring around the world and everything. I know, but yeah, you didn't come on until later on, because I remember one album was in 1990, and I ain't gonna say the album code name because I don't remember the exact name, but you went in 1990. But I remember when you first came. I think it was My Purpose album. I think it was My Purpose album. And oh, what the what? You know what? Wow. Y'all bear with me once again. I don't know. Should I this line keep on kicking people out?
This is the day the Lord has made, and we're going to
Yes.
rejoice and be glad in it. But yes, it was the My Purpose album. I can still hear you, but for some reason I wasn't in the room. But yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's the album.
yes.
That song with
Latrice,
Latrice
yeah, we
Payne.
didn't do it.
Yes.
Yeah, Tracy
I
wrote that.
yeah, don't seem to know, but that's my favorite
Yeah.
song.
Oh
And
wow.
then strategically order.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
Sister
God.
Kayla Parker. Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
greatest singers to walk this earth,
Ooh.
other than Angie and Debbie Winans.
Give me chills down my back. Do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, he got it.
Yeah. So how do you balance your ministry and your daily life?
They're intertwined. So they're one and the same when you learn that
Yeah.
you live simply because of Christ. What you do is because of Christ, and that there's nothing you can do without Him. Yeah, we have friends and we have our goals and our ambitions, but all of that has to be intermingled with God. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Not for me. Now, maybe some other people have found a way, but it just don't work without Him. So He is
Yeah.
the balance. Yeah.
Yeah. She's preaching
Oh
over.
Lord. He's the balance. He is the balance.
Yes, ma'am. So when did you have your come to Jesus moment? Like when you first accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior?
Ooh. Maybe when I was about seven,
Oh,
seven.
wow.
And yeah, early. My parents taught us about Christ early. We had family altar, family prayer. I mean, from day one, since I can remember, way back. And I would say one of the most pivotal moments in my life was at age 14. That's when God began to use me in the church to lay hands and even prophesy and give words of encouragement and things like that. I do not, ever call myself prophetess or anything like that. But if God tells me to say something, I just say it. And if He doesn't, I don't say it. It's all on Him. So yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
So 14,
Ooh.
that was really yeah, when I really, really start walking with the Lord.
So what got you into acting? Because you just did a play. It's a man's
Ah,
world.
so
Please tell us
actually,
about that.
I always been like the family comedian. Okay, that just always, yeah. They used to call me Inspector Gadget because I used to tell on everybody. I was really the epitome of a little sister. Tracy, Melanda is over. Yeah, I mean, I name it. Yeah, I was the one. The stuff you see on TV with the little sister peeking around the corner and all that stuff, and going back and telling the parents. That was me. But how I got into acting, it was LaShawn and Latrice. I saw them in a play. I believe it was oh my God, Lord have mercy, Edwin Hawkins, and it was a really, really big production that came to Atlanta. And I remember Bootsy Collins, not Bootsy Collins, Bootsy. Oh, I can't think of his last name. Oh my goodness. Oh, Sean gonna get me. Bootsy and oh my goodness, it was a whole lot of heavy hitters was in that play. And I remember seeing back saying, I want to do that. I want to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it? Because I don't know. I'm not an actor. Is it like hard to remember all those lines? Or
Not well. You grew up in a family where you had to remember scripture,
yeah,
huh? Huh? What's your scripture of
yeah.
the week? turn that TV off.
Yeah.
So, my mom and dad didn't play. They like, it's gonna be in you and it's gonna be in you for real. So that's
Yeah.
just kind of like how it was. So yeah, it's not really, you just commit yourself to it. And I have to admit, sometimes I'll learn lines at the very last minute, but I know them. I'm not gonna skip them. I'm not gonna miss a line. But yeah, sometimes I learn them at the last minute. That's Pray for me.
I can't remember stuff for a can of paint. I
Really?
just like it's certain things. Like if it's certain thing I really do care
Mm-hmm.
about, remember it. But for stuff that I really don't care too much about, I just don't remember.
Well, one tip
And
for when you're remembering a script for a play or a movie or sitcom is to always put yourself in the conversation. You know, if you're sitting there talking about someone being sick or someone recovering, you're not getting ready to talk about what's happening at the market. So actually put yourself in that conversation, and then the lines just start to flow. They start to come back to you. So that's one good tip. A lot of times people just looking at the lines and they're not actually looking at the conversation. So actually put yourself in the conversation, and it also helps you with internalizing and acting out. How do I act out this part with someone that's really going through, is about to lose their loved one? So don't just learn the lines, learn the conversation. Get in the conversation.
you over here preaching, guys.
Oh, stop.
Woo! Yeah, I'm a comedian as well, so I think you picked it up by now.
Yes. I see. I see you love to have fun. Like I do. I believe that being saved is not a death sentence. It's not something that, oh my God, we can't ever laugh anymore. God, the joy of the Lord is our strength. So, why would
Right.
God require us to be so serious and so stiff and so, austere or whatever about being saved? No, that's not what being saved is. That's what being fake is. That's being, you too deep, you're drowning. God has ordained us to laugh. God wants us to have fun and be able to relate to each other and talk to each other. So, yeah, but at the same time, be able to pray each other out of whatever situation we're going through. Just because you're having fun doesn't mean you're getting carnal, because we know carnal mindedness is death. So we don't do that, but we have fun. Yeah,
Yeah, I love having
me
fun.
too.
Um, I be at my job and I be talking and I have no folks laugh. It just gives me joy.
Oh, you be at your
Other
job.
people,
Oh, no, wait a
yeah, it
minute.
gives me joy.
When you on your job, you need to be working.
I'm working.
Okay,
I'm still gonna
okay,
put
okay. I got you. I'm just joking. Woo, because you know how it is. People crucify you in a minute on those jobs.
my job. They ain't gonna do
Okay,
that to me. They need me.
you're getting it done.
Now,
You're getting it done.
your hobbies, like what do you do? Like besides, I know you preach and you're singing and stuff. And you teach and stuff. What do you do
I
besides
love
that?
art. And I do as much of it as I possibly can. I've gotten my nephew Braxton into drawing and painting and things like that. So that's what I love to do. I'm not a Picasso, but I love to do what I can do, and I love working with my hands. I'll make a lampshade in a minute. I'll make a pillowcase in a minute. If I can't find it online, I'll go get the material and I'll make it in a minute, because that was something that I always saw my mother do. She didn't just rely on
Right.
what was being produced. She realized that God made us kings and priests, and we can produce our what we want for ourselves and also be able to sell it. So who knows? Eventually, one day I may be selling lampshades and pillows and things like that. But I am really really strong. I feel strongly about ambiance, so that's why I'm into the art. Like I just painted my wall, and they came in. It was like, oh my God, are those clouds? Yep, clouds. So I'm really into that, and my atmosphere has to be right. And so if it's not right, I believe in just trying to make it right, not trying to be, you know, any famous artist, but if I can draw it and paint it, I'll do it. And it looks good to me. Yeah. I'm not going to show it to y'all, but it looks good to me.
I don't know about
Mhm.
these things.
Yeah. So I'm really into the arts.
I'm not the drawer. I'm not a drawer. I can draw a stick
Yeah.
figure. That
Yeah.
any day, every day.
Yeah.
I like stick figure.
Well, my sister Dewey is actually an artist. She actually
Ooh,
paints, draws, all of that. She's good. Yeah. It's a gift
ooh,
from God.
yes. Pace Family Arts. Ooh, I see a music.
Yeah.
Favorite
I can't hear you.
colors. What is one of your favorite
What is my
colors?
favorite color? Oh,
Yes.
I don't have a favorite color. Mm-mm.
Oh,
I don't have a favorite color. What?
wow. You're the first person I ever interviewed that said they don't have a favorite color. Wow.
Mm-mm. I
That's
don't see a color that makes me go, it's just like most people, oh, that's my favorite color. No, if you get it in whatever color, I'm going to say thank you. Whatever color it is, I'm just going to say thank you. I hope you can see me because my light just,
You
okay.
good. I can
Okay,
see you.
good.
Yes, ma'am. So, what is that go-to scripture like that scripture when you're
St.
feeling
Luke
down
ten
and you
nineteen. Behold, I give
said
unto you
it?
power to tread upon serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means harm you. And I believe
Woo!
that. I believe God's word. Amen. Yeah.
You said,
Because so much is
ooh,
going on today, with COVID and whatever that's what they're calling it. But we don't really know what things really are unless, truth is told, and so much truth is concealed. But one thing we know is that God's word is true. And that when he said nothing shall by any means harm us, we got to grab a hold of that, believe that, trust in that. I don't care what kind of symptoms you're seeing. I don't care what you're faced with. Just know that God has given you the power to overcome. And what happens and what cripples the faith of so many people is that it's fear of what they see. That's why we walk by faith and not by sight. You can't look at what's going on in the world, see who's getting checked into the hospital. And you got to say, Lord, my eyes are on you. And you know what to do. You know how to bring me out. You know how to bring me through. So I'm not going to fear. But often saints or people just allow themselves to be crippled with fear. And you can't do that. You've got to allow yourself to rise above that and to believe God's word. And sometimes it's so difficult because you've had so many people playing with God's word, playing with God's weapons. And you and I'm not saying, not to be comical or whatever, but I don't like to cross the line when it comes to the things of God. Even with tongues, I had God to tell me one time, don't play with my weapons. Stop just speaking in tongues, just to speak in tongues, because that's a weapon. So whenever the tongues is coming up, it's coming up from God. It ain't me playing and faking. So we need to not water down the weapons of God and the things of God and what God can do, because they're powerful. They're real. God is real. And whatever he says he's going to do, he's going to do it. We have to just trust him and believe him and not doubt, and don't play with him. Sometimes it's like the little boy that cried wolf. You want to huck and buck, and
yeah.
then when you really need it, it ain't there. Why? Because you don't play the whole time. So we got to really be really real with God and buckle down and get serious with God and get serious about having the Holy Ghost. Get serious about being obedient to God, because sometimes we talk about it and it becomes such a formality in our conversation that when it comes to living it, we're not really doing it. So we got to really get caught up in the manifestation of God's word. It's not just there for us to read. It is there for us to live and to show forth the works and the wonders of God. So when you're walking with God as you should and you speak, he gonna back you up. Why? Because you've been doing it all along. You've been obedient all along. You've been living it all along when no cameras was around, when nobody was watching you, when nobody, you didn't think anybody heard you. You was in your room and you were praying. You were really crying out to God. So it's really time for the church to really, really, really get serious about the things of God and their relationship with God, because we're in the time where the world needs the church. The church don't need the world. We got the answer, and the answer is on the inside of us. Greater is he that is within us than he that is in the world. And I really believe that. And God said, according to your faith, so be it unto you. So if you believe that you can do whatever God said you can do, it's going to happen. Nothing is going to stop you. There may be some delays, but they can't hold you fast. You're going to break through. So you just keep believing God, keep trusting God, and be real with God. I don't want to go too much. I don't want to talk too much.
Oh, you good. You good. If you gotta speak, go ahead and
Okay.
speak. We get
Okay.
ready. If you gotta speak, the Lord. Yes. Woo. Y'all better get it right or get left. That's messing with the same. All in the Mexico. Get left. Yeah.
Wow. And I refuse to be left behind, because he's given us too many
Yes.
chances to get right. He's given us too many chances. Many of us should have been dead and gone. Many of us, COVID took hold of and you didn't even know it had you. You thought it was just a cold. You thought, oh my God, feel something funny in my chest. But the grace of God, the mercy of God, the blood of Jesus was covering you and keeping you and brought you through and you didn't even know. So God is good, and we just have to continue to live for him and hold him up. Hold up the bloodstained banner, my parents would say. Yes, God. And there's so much in that bloodstained banner, but it's
Yes.
powerful. Amen. I don't want to get into that. That's a whole nother sermon.
Yes. I'm back on the sermon one day. I'm gonna have to invite you back on for a
Oh,
sermon.
Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. So I so that I know that you said that your parents about you going to college and stuff. They didn't agree to you going to college and stuff.
My father didn't think that there was any salvation in college. He didn't think that it was the will of God for, certain reasons. And then he shifted on that. And the
Yeah.
reason why that was so, because he's had heard about, as a pastor, so many other situations where the child go and they something that detrimental happened to them and or whatnot. So it's like, you know what, God ain't in college. My children ain't going to college. They gonna sing. But when it came time for me to go, God had shifted him and God had changed him, and my mother had already put the finances aside, and God just made the way. So where he guides you, he will provide. That's not just a saying, because we were a large family. So, and my father was the only working person consistently. My mother did work as, have a job for or a season, but he didn't even want her working because he felt like her place was in the home. Like he didn't want her to have to do that. He wanted to take care of his queen, and that's exactly what he did. And so, yeah, when he changed his mind when it came to me, he realized that was the will of God for me.
Yes. So can you give me some tips, like with getting your associate's degree? Give me some tips what to not to do when you first come in as a freshman, and what you should do.
Number one, don't
Yeah.
come in trying to make friends with anybody. Number
Okay.
one, don't come in trying to be friends with anyone. Go, let God add to you who should be in your life, because just like we have deterrents in life, there are deterrents in college that are there, planted by the enemy to deter you, to get you off track. They ain't going nowhere and they don't want you going nowhere. You got people that's been in college for 8 years, and they're gonna be there another 8 years, huh?
Yeah.
They just like being on the campus. They ain't serious about doing nothing, but for some
Right.
reason they're still there, and they cater to these people that come in and get you sidetracked and get you going to the parties and get you going to this, get in this club and get in this fraternity and this sorority. Look, get your work. I had an aunt at Spelman that told me, she said, look, I appreciate you wanting to be in Glee, But first, this your first year, and so I need you to come in and get your work because Glee was very demanding. It's a wonderful institution, but it's very demanding. You have to be at rehearsals. That's why they sound so good, because you have to be at rehearsals. You got to dedicate yourself. And so I wasn't a music major, I was an English major. So for the music majors, Glee works out for you really easy. But if you an English major, they don't understand always. You got to go to a rehearsal or you want to go on tour and all. They're like, you got a test, boo. So don't go in trying to make friends. Don't go in trying to be, always joining an organization. Let God lead you, but go in focus, stay focused on what you're there for. So, and get that done. And everything else will come as it should come, you
Right.
know? Yeah.
Yep. Right. So that tips, I need that tip
Yeah.
because I need that tip because when we with college, I'm in college,
Okay.
going back to
Okay.
college. I got a little discouraged because some teachers were saying that, oh, your writing's horrible, that's horrible. So I got really
Mhm.
discouraged. I was like, my ability to write. Okay, this is what they taught me in high
Mhm.
school. This is what you do when you get to college, and I just got real discouraged.
Mhm.
So that tip.
Well, also, if they have writing facilities, like Spelman had a writing lab that actually helped you and assists you with learning how to write academically on that college level, because it is a whole nother level of writing versus high school. And then when you get to grad school, it's another level of writing. I can tell you about that. So search those places out, with the academic. And if you don't have that, then, YouTube got things and people like that write on, professors that have their own little blogs and things like that. Look up seminars and things like that to help you. Don't let the professor discourage you, because ultimately God put you there, not them. Okay, so they can't see necessarily what God planted in you. So, and then some of them are not sold out to God, they're sold out to the enemy, and they can recognize the light of God in you. So it's like, oh, we're gonna do everything we can to discourage him. No, you have to focus and know, look, God put me here. God put me on this path.
Right.
And if you give me a F, it's okay. God's gonna make a way for me to eventually get this A out of this class. I may get an F on this paper, but I won't get an F out of this class. Why? Because God put me here and I'm relying on him. And he's going to give you the friends that you need to come along. God put friends in my path that helped me and here and there. And then me personally, I'm just a resourceful person. I love research. And so I just went and searched out things that I didn't understand. We can't be lazy in this walk with Christ and just think he's going to do everything. No, it's a walk with Christ, meaning you got to put one foot in front of the other. So I don't believe in being lazy and say God's gonna do everything. No, God's gonna guide me to
Right.
go. God's going to guide me. So we don't rely on God to do everything. You got to do some things. So what you do is you research and you find out and ask God, lead me to people that can help me with my writing, who can help me with my math, who can help me with this. Or am I in the right major? I want to do this. I see myself as wanting to be a doctor, but you may see me as a psychologist, or you may see me as a psychiatrist, or what is it that I'm supposed to be majoring in? Forget what everyone else has said, what they think. You look like a doctor, and they have you in there struggling. They ain't writing not one paper for you. Huh? They ain't going to not one class, not one seminar, and you in there struggling because they say you look like a doctor. Huh? You look like you in trouble. You better get in the major that God has for you. Because people was
Right.
telling me, you're in music, go, and you need to major in music. But I knew God told me English. He said, I want you in English. And it would make sense for me to go and major in music. But that's not what God told me to do. So when I got in the vein, that's when the scholarships came. When I got
Wow.
in the vein, that's when the scholarships came. God blessed me and he just made the way. So I didn't try to stay in music and major in music simply because I came from music. I sought the Lord for what he wanted me to do. And that's what I'm doing. So that's the main tip with
Okay.
college.
Okay. She God is counselor right here.
And you got to realize college isn't for everybody. You know, sometimes you want to take the ride just because everybody else is on the ride. And God has said, no, I want you to walk over here. I'm going to educate you.
Right.
I'm going to be your teacher. I'm going to be your guide. And it takes a great boldness and a great assertiveness and confidence to do that, because we're in a system where people are always talking about go to college, go to college, go to college, but it's not for everyone. I'm going to say that again. It's not for everyone. And so make sure you know that God sent you there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody said you talking hood tonight.
So,
What?
yeah.
I think she meant good. Diana, I love you. I got you. I see good now. Yes. I'm talking hood too, Diana. But yeah,
Hey, what? Yes, ma'am. So, what is the typical life of Dr. Lydia Pace?
church, school. That's my life. You know, every now and then we get somebody that's romantically interested, but you know, I'm always looking at them like this. Who sent you? What? I'm just saying, especially if they don't look like what I asked God for. Oh, wait a minute. I know God got my
She
order.
said,
I put my order in, honey. Tall, Lord. But you know, I'm not opposed to what God does. I'm not opposed to anything God does. Oh my goodness, this light is acting up. I'm not opposed to what God does, but you know, you have to make sure that God sends the person that you're. Not every interest is worth exploring, and put it like that. Not every interest is worth exploring, because you're going to have people that are not necessarily attracted to you. They're attracted to where you're going. They're attracted to what they can see. They're attracted to the anointing in your life. But God ain't sent them there to help you at all. You know, you got some people that want to zap you because they want to be able to do what you do. And it's like, but they ain't willing to pay the price. So it's like, well, what I'm going to do is get in her life, mess her up. You got to read that, because Saul sent his
yeah,
daughter Micaiah to David and said, I'm going to send her, and said she may be a stumbling block to him. So when you know your word, you are filtering everything by the word, including romantic interest. So yeah, I'm always looking
right.
like, who sent you? You know, yeah, you 6 feet and up, praise God. 5'11" ain't bad either. And you know what not, you good, and you speak well, and you love the Lord, you know the Lord, but are we supposed to be together? Because not every good thing, as we've heard, is a God thing. So you have to make sure it's a God thing, you know, that you're walking that same path. Because sometimes you can get somebody in your life and your ministry diminished simply because they don't want you to be all that God has called you to be. And so
Right.
that's the first thing to realize. God is not going to ever send somebody in your life to tell you to calm down. You know, you just too fiery. I'm talking about for Jesus. Now you sitting up here, you fiery, and you in and out of beds, huh?
Mm.
You just a shoe that's, huh? You been everybody trying that shoe on. No, you got to stop that, because sanctified people don't
Right.
do that. We don't sleep around. We don't jump around from bed to bed, man to man, relationship to man, relationship. You know, pillar to post. We stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. You know, and then we don't steal other people's mates. Why? Because that's going in your soil, and you're gonna reap that. It's
Right.
impossible to steal somebody's spouse and think you're going to get together and have a wonderful relationship. No, you getting ready to go through that same thing 7 times worse. So leave folks' spouses alone. You know, if somebody interested in you, ask first thing to ask, are you married? Have you been married?
Yeah.
Are you all not just separated? Don't start that mess. No, 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 no. Let the break be clean. Are you divorced? Okay, when you get divorced, then you try this, huh? Because it's just messy. It's still messy. You want a clean break. You don't want it to be said that you were in charge or responsible for somebody's hurt and pain or adding to it in any kind of way. So it's just wise to wait till people are completely free. So acknowledge God once again in all your ways. I'm not here to talk about relationships. Maybe I am. I don't know what. I'm just saying, acknowledge the Lord, because sometimes people just get in a mess, because they think, he said he loved me or she said she loved me. That is true. People will tell you anything to get you in the bed. And after they use you up and confuse you up, use you up, confuse you up, get rid of you. So but the song said, "Oh, what needless pains we bear, all because we do not carry everything to God in prayer." And you got these people, these half-walking Christians that'll tell you, you ain't got to pray about everything. Yes, you do. That's why their lives is a living hell right now. I have one sister, Melinda, would say, your life is scrambled eggs with cheese. Huh? You can't separate that mess. Only God. So you don't want to live a life. You don't want to live a life that's messed up like that. You want everything to be clean and straight and in order with God, so the blessing can flow. Because God can't bless you if you got it through mess. He don't bless mess. He don't do that.
He don't bless mess.
He really don't. Yeah. So you got to really make sure you walk in the vein of God, in the will of God, asking God and asking us questions. Anybody get mad at you asking questions and are you married? Well, who is? How have you been? They get upset because you ask. Why you ask so many questions? Leave them alone. They hiding something. Leave them alone. But when you come in honest with the right intentions and the right motive, you don't want me asking questions. I'm that way. And that's the way we all should be as saints. Ask me anything you want to ask me. I'm going to tell you the truth. Why? Because my motives to wanting to be with you is pure. It's clean. I'm not hiding nothing from you. Why in the world relationship? God ain't made relationships to be hard like that. He ain't made love to be difficult like that. Players, demons and devils getting in this stuff and making it hard and making people write songs about love is hard. The devil is a lie. Love is so difficult. I'm crazy and love got a lot of sense. Love got a lot of sense. I ain't crazy in love. I'm walking in sense and in wisdom and in love. Amen. Amen. The end. Amen. The end.
So what is next for Lydia Pace Ministries?
Just continuous obedience. If he said write this book, I'm gonna go on and write it. There's many things I want to write on and trying to get it out and get through school at the same time. So I'm gonna do that. I'm sorry. Some of these questions are coming up. Guessing you got any sexual diseases? You gotta ask questions. Can I see your medical record? You gotta ask questions. You gotta ask questions. Tayana said, ask them, do you have any sexual diseases? And people will lie to you about that just to get you. And so you got to take that thing to God in prayer and he'll show you. I will never forget I was in a relationship and I was overseas in Korea with Nisi because I traveled with her for years. And on my birthday, I was turning 28 over there in Korea. Never forget it. Wonderful, wonderful day. But God gave me a dream that morning about the young man that I was talking to. And I saw a girl and she was expecting. My mother called us that morning, wished me happy birthday. She said, something else I got to tell you. She said, and it's about the young man that you like. And I said, Mother, well, let me tell you, is it so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so? She said, well, you've been talking to God. That's exactly what it is. So he hadn't even had an opportunity to tell me because I was overseas. He didn't have our number over there. Of course, we give our mother information because, that's mother. She needs to know where we are
Yes,
and
ma'am.
how to reach us. But when I got back to Atlanta, I just went on and just told him, this is what God showed me. And it wasn't in a condemning and whatever. God showed me how you've been sleeping around. Yeah, humongous. It, it wasn't that, because we ought to tell the truth in love. And I just took him aside because we would go out to eat regularly. And I said, I got to share something with you. While I was in Korea, I had a dream about you and this, that, and the other. And it was done in such love that he just went on and said, yeah, I want to talk to you about that. And we talked about it. And it just is what it is. We love each other and still friends to this day. But at the same time, God not going to have you in a mess and confused. And, you have some people that conceal stuff like that. Because it's like, this ain't who I want to marry. I'm still going to marry her. I'll just wait to afterwards and tell her I got a child on the way. God, if you seek God, God will tell you everything you need to know about that person before they get too cross that line, get too, in your life and intertwined in your life. God will let you know.
Yes.
He will show you. That's his word. He said, no good thing will I withhold from them that walk upright. We often look at good thing as something tangible, but sometimes information that you need to know. God said, I ain't gonna withhold it from you, huh? Because you walking upright. You pleasing me. And I need to let you know. That's not to say that he just gonna let the sinners just walk on in the, walk on into hell. But most times they're not even seeking him. But if you're walking upright and you seeking God, he gonna tell you. He's gonna let you know what you need to know.
And reading your word.
Uh-huh. Get in your word. Get in the word and stay
Stay in there.
there.
Yes. Got to stay in there. But yeah, before we do leave, because I know it's been a long day
Mm-hmm.
for me,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it's probably for you as well. Before we leave, I do want you to sing a little bit because I love hearing your voice.
They want to ask questions.
Oh, can we ask questions?
That's what, yeah, you can 3 questions. That's it.
One of your questions. Which are questions then? Y'all don't want to hear Dr.
Dr.
Pace
Pace don't be
sing
singing
tonight?
like that.
Ah! I guess they don't. Yeah, nobody want to
Well,
come up with these
somebody just
questions.
said, can we ask questions?
Yeah,
Hear
you can
from
ask
when we
questions.
hear from mother. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. Somebody told me that I really need to keep that up and do that. It's a mother is a that's really not her name, but I just kind of named it that until some other things come through, copyright things come through. But it's an older woman that gives advice, and she sings a little bit and all that stuff. Well, she's a combination of two of my. I had 3 grandmothers. She's a combination of 2 of them. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see what the Lord does.
I've seen some
Huh?
videos. I've seen some of your videos
Okay.
with
Oh, with mother.
mother.
That ain't say what they used to be.
Mama Philly.
Somebody said, who is my favorite daughter? Thank you for loving mother. Mother loves you. Phyllis is home. She is fine and doing well. She is recovering, and we are holding her up. We know that she is healed, and the manifestation is right around the corner. That's where Phyllis is. Keep praying for her. Amen. I need you to do another concert so I can go. What concert? Uh,
She said she singing. She said I ain't been singing like
yeah. I
that.
mean, I did a play, but I haven't really done a concert. Yeah.
So, do you ever see yourself coming out with a solo project?
At one time I did, but as time has gone by, I don't. So we'll see. I always see myself doing whatever God wants me to do. But as my personal desires, they shift and they change. So at one point I did want to do a praise and worship, but then it's like as school got more and more intense, I was like, you know what? Let me just get through school, Father. Let me get through grad school. Praise God, and then we'll see if I have a song in my spirit after that. The devil's trying to take my song. Glory to God. Woo.
So you're not gonna sing strategically order just a little bit of it?
Strategically ordered me. He strategically ordered me. There is I forgot the words. Strategy to everything. Your mistakes and all are ordered. Have you ever
Man,
tried to make a move? Sometimes you couldn't get through. Strategically ordered. Oh, looking back over my life, I see so clearly now. I tried to go all my pain. Sometimes it's like a maze, but I can see strategically. That's enough.
I,
Yeah,
I got my DP over here. I got that. I got that
you
DP.
do. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I didn't bring it over.
Yes, he strategically ordered me in everything,
Yeah,
through everything. Yeah.
yes. I'm out of questions tonight. This is a dream come true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
You're welcome. You're
for
so welcome. Make sure y'all save this
like
live. Thank you.
said the live, and y'all make sure y'all go to my YouTube. I'm gonna post my YouTube on my story, so you go to my story, watch it, and watching so you can see get the link. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube as well.
Yes. When can
But
we
perhaps
purchase
stream
the play? I don't know. I hear that it is on DVD, so you would have
on
to talk to Tiffany. Oh my God,
Tiffany.
Tiffany
Contact
Entertainment. Tiffany Entertainment. That's what it is. Tifonay, I believe. Entertainment, and they're out of Camila, Georgia.
Georgia.
We love the
Well,
Pay
I'll put
Sisters.
that.
We love y'all too. Thank you for your love. Can you sing a little bit
Thank
of
you.
Someday from Darling?
Oh,
Mother needs a glass of water, so we're not gonna be able to sing.
yeah, I got my.
Diane, it's so good to see you. Amen. Good to see you on here. We love you. Okay.
Yeah, I am
One way
done.
radio. I'm done too. I'm done. I
But thank you so much. You thank you so much for coming on. Let's go to church gospel show with Big
you
Ben.
welcome.
Um, this is the best gift ever. My birthday's coming up in a few months, but yeah, but this is an early birthday
Uh,
present.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. There you go.
Thank you.
Love you.
You
All
too.
right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.